If you've got a siding project coming up, you may be wondering, what about wood, or maybe a wood look that's a fake wood? On the Build Show today, veteran builder Stephanie Daly is going to give us a real breakdown on the pros and cons of using a true wood versus non-wood, both for siding and for soffits. Today's best of, let's get going.
All right, guys, when it comes to exterior materials, we all love the look of natural wood, but natural wood comes with its own set of problems. Here in Utah, where we see a lot of freeze thaw, we have a lot of different weather. We'll go from 0 degrees to 110 degrees. Natural wood is not the most ideal material to use. However, it can still be used, and we use it a lot. So this is a great option. This is a standard cedar material that we would typically use in like a soffit inside of a ceiling. This comes in multiple different grain patterns. You can get D and better, A and better. In this case, the two samples you're seeing here are an A and better cedar, which just means that it has no knots in it. And the cost of it obviously is a little more expensive. A D and better, you would typically find a few knots in the material, but it is a lesser expensive option, but you still get a similar look. So in my market, the D and better is about $450 a linear foot, and the A and better is about $590. Now, depending on where you're at, your pricing is going to be different than mine. This is just going to give you a really good baseline to try and understand where things are from low to high, but you'll always want to call your local supplier to find out what your price is. So cedar, tongue and groove, great option, probably the least expensive option that we have here on the table. It does come with maintenance. It has the ability to rot long-term. It can be affected by pests and all kinds of things. And obviously it is not fire resistant because it is true wood, but gives you that beautiful, beautiful look that a lot of people love, and we still use it all the time. In a soffit application, it's highly likely that you will have to restain it every few years, but it's not something that you're gonna have to redo every year just because of where it's applied. If you were using it for an exterior siding, you're gonna have a lot more maintenance that'll come with that. So that's your traditional cedar material. The next option we have here that is still a natural wood. This is a Western red cedar. This has a vertical grain, which just means that it's nice and tight. If we compare that to the standard cedar, you can see the difference in the grains very clearly. So this fine line gives you more of that vertical grain look, a little less of the cathedral graining, a more simple, what we would consider more modern look. This stuff is really great. This is made by Dolly Varden. This is 6-inch or 4-inch, just depending on which one you'd like. And it comes from 5-foot to 20-foot lengths. This is a great option if you're looking to do a natural wood still and you're okay with having to restain it down the line. Still gives you that beautiful, beautiful wood look. This one is much more expensive. This in my market ranges $7.15 a linear foot. So that is a natural reaction to a vertical grain wood. Just because of how they have to get the vertical grain, it's naturally more expensive. And I'm sure you've seen that a lot in your own markets. If you're looking at a really popular thing is like vertical grain oak at the moment, it's just naturally more expensive. So that one is on the higher end. It is not the most expensive one we have here on the table, but that's $7.15 a linear foot. Those are both natural wood options, and they're wonderful, but in a lot of cases, the clients don't want maintenance. They don't want long-term maintenance, or they're looking for something that is fire resistant, mold resistant, pest resistant, whatever it may be. Another big thing in our industry is recyclable materials. So I have some synthetic options for you that kind of range from one end of the spectrum to the other, but I'm gonna walk you through all of those options and show you my personal favorite. So first here on the table, we have NewTechWood. This stuff is great. From a distance, it definitely looks like wood, but it is a plastic composite material. So this stuff comes in 8-foot or 16-foot lengths. You can see here, we have a few of the color options on the table, but it does come in a lot more colors than what you're seeing here. This has 100% recyclable core. However, the entire material itself is only 95% recyclable. It is resistant to fading. It's resistant to splitting. It's resistant to stain, mold, fire, because it is a completely synthetic product. It has a very plasticky feel when you're touching it up, when you have your hands on it and you're looking at it up close. But from a distance, it is an excellent option. This stuff you can use in a lot of different applications. So they have this TNG like you see here. You can use it as soffit material. You could use it as siding. They also make it in decking and a few other options that you can use. NewTechWood, great option. This is $4.32 a linear foot. So it's kind of right in line with that original Cedar, but it's an option that you can use that has zero maintenance and a long warranty. So NewTechWood, that's a good one. Next I'm gonna show you is Boral. Boral is a poly ash material, so it's a mix between a polymer and a fly ash. It's more of like a fiber cement, similar to what you're seeing with like a hardy board. This can be stained. So the one you're seeing here is actually got a painted finish on it. Here's another option with a painted finish on it to make it look like wood. It doesn't look quite as realistic as some of the other options here on the table, but this is a really good option. So this is ideal for wet climates, can withstand freezing. It also resists mold, pests, rots, and it's fire resistant. And this is made out of 70% recycled material. So if you're in the market for something that you can paint or stain any color that you would like, this is a really great option at a really affordable cost. So this one ranges between $4.69 a linear foot to $6.13 a linear foot. And that really just depends on the size of the material that you're getting. You can see here we have a 4-inch option and a 6-inch option. There are very similar to the NewTech. It comes in siding material, decking material, all kinds of different things. But this one that we have here that we were looking at was for a soffit application. So another great option if you're looking for something that's not real wood. So next one I'm going to show you is this great product from Modern Mill. This is called Acre. It is 100% recyclable, and it is actually made from upcycled rice hulls. So really unique, really new product to the market. Same thing, it comes in material that is sheet goods, like this piece you see here. It comes in TNG, it comes in trim materials, all kinds of different things. So you could do an entire house of siding, soffit, anything you'd like out of this Acre by Modern Mill. The cool thing about this product is it has no harmful dust. So when you're cutting it, it's really not quite as damaging for your lungs as some of the other options. You don't inhale plastic materials or any of the fly ash material. This same thing, this can resist water, pets, rot, and the cool thing about this is it's made in the USA. So this is a great product. It has a lifetime guarantee. We are actually using this on a project currently, so I'm excited to see how this turns out. And another great product that is tree-free, they call it. This one comes in at $4.97 a linear foot. In my mind, this gave us the most accurate look to the vertical grain cedar. So that's kind of the look we were going for, but we wanted something that would have no or low maintenance and that was a little better for the environment. So we actually decided to go with this Acre by Modern Mill. This can be stained or painted any color, just like the other products you see here on the table. We personally love the way it looks raw, but excited to use this. So give that one a try. Check that out. $4.97 a foot. And last but not least is Longboard. If you have looked at options for synthetic wood look siding or soffits, it's highly likely you've seen Longboard before. We have used this countless number of times, and we are big supporters of Longboard. We love this product. This is a very versatile product, so you can use it in many different ways. It also has a lot of unique trim pieces that they actually manufacture and supply. So really you can do anything you want with this. They've got trim pieces that lean a little more towards contemporary homes, craftsman homes, traditional homes. Just about anything you would like, Longboard has really got it figured out. You can see over here on this side of the table all of the different color options that come in the Longboard. There's a ton of options to give you that vertical grain look like you had in the Cedar. The downfall to the Longboard is you have to pick one of their stock colors. So this is actually an extruded aluminum product that has a finish on it that looks like wood. So this is really great. It's scratch resistant. This stuff is like bulletproof. It won't oil can like traditional metal sidings can. It's really thick, which reduces that oil canning significantly. But they come with printed patterns. So you kind of have to choose from one of their color options that they have available. Now, with that being said, they do have a really wide variety of colors. So you can pick anything from wood tones to solid colors. They also have this whole line here that is purely made to look like rusted metal or distressed metal. So you can kind of go any direction with Longboard. Now, when it's up on the house, you cannot tell the difference between Longboard and a traditional wood. This stuff is fabulous. We've used it, like I said, a bunch of times on a bunch of different projects, and we're actually going to be using their new smooth TNG on a project currently. This stuff comes with a hefty price tag. So in my market, this stuff is $60 a foot. So out of everything on the table, it is by far the most expensive option. But Longboard has been doing this for a long time. They have a ton of available colors, ton of trim options. This is really a wonderful product for you to use if you're looking for a wood look, but you want zero maintenance. The great thing with this, like I said, they have a fantastic warranty. So Longboard's really gonna stand behind their products. You will not go wrong with using Longboard, but it comes with a hefty price tag. So if we're going back, looking at everything together, there are some inexpensive options in both categories. So natural wood or a synthetic wood. You can really get the look you're looking for with anything on the table here. It just depends on what your top priorities are. So in this case, we will be using the Modern Mill, Acre by Modern Mill, and the Longboard on a project coming up. And we will be sure to show you what that looks like and how they install. Hopefully this video was helpful when you're looking at wood alternatives or natural wood. Get on, check these different products out, give your local supplier a call to find out what the price is in your market. And thank you guys so much for watching.
Guys, if you're not currently following Stephanie Daly, she's a fabulous builder based out of Salt Lake City. She learned from her dad, who's a fabulous builder, so I consider her one of those rare second-generation builders who's got at least 10 years more wisdom than her actual age. So if you're not following Stephanie, go follow her. You can go check out her Instagram at Stephanie Builds It. And of course, she's been shooting now for, I don't know, maybe almost 3 years, 2 years on thebuildshow.com. Go check out her bio video, watch some of Stephanie's videos, and of course, sign up for our newsletter. We'll put a link to the newsletter below. Our newsletter sends out 2 newsletter emails a week, so you can see what's new on all of our contributors, including Stephanie Daly. With that being said, guys, hit that subscribe button. New content every Tuesday and every Friday. We'll see you next time on The Build Show.